Hey, Rigsters here, back with another tutorial episode of From the Depths. Where we last left off, I showed how to organize the blocks and a little bit of basic building of the hull for this basic boat design. On this episode, I'm going to show you how to build a V-shaped hull for the front of the boat. The reason why you want to do this is to make the boat more hydrodynamic, which in simple terms means that it goes through the water easier. So let's begin by engaging mirror symmetry mode. Press left alt and N, and we got our mirror up. So the first thing we want to do is make this boat a little bit wider. So what I'm going to do, if you have been following along here, I've been using 3-meter wood beams, which you see near the left side of the screen. That is the beams I'm going to be building, because I don't want to build a boat that's too massive, but I at least want to make it big enough so you can see the effects of the V-shaped hull. We're going to place the block to the left and left click once. And if your mirror doesn't work, you might have to reorient the mirror or try again. And then we're also going to put one in the middle, like so. Alright, so now we got that here. We're going to make this boat, let's see here, right now it's from the center here, 1 block wide. We're going to make this 6 block wide. So what we're going to do is orient the camera with the mouse. This is assuming you're using keyboard-based building. You're going to tap the A key left 2 times from the center position. And now you see that it's going green and it's facing towards the front. I'm going to click this to move the camera over here first with the mouse. And left click 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But now you notice a particular problem, and that is that your front of the boat is really wide, but the back isn't covered. So we're going to fix that as well with using the D key, tap it a few times, the W key 1 time here. And we're going to build to the back just a little bit as well. So we just click 1, 2 times here. And then we're going to move the WASD keys to the center. We're going to put the left click there so it builds in the center just a little bit like that. So I left clicked once here in mirror mode. We're going to keep this on. So I build 2 blocks there and 1 in the middle. So what we're going to do now is we're going to teach you an interesting feature, which is autofill. Now for this to work, you have to close off the spaces so the engine knows what you're doing. Recall from the last episode, we hold down the tab key and rotate the block with WASD, Q, and E keys. You can orient the block in various ways. We're going to orient the block so it faces towards the left here, like so. And then we're going to close off this area by holding down the tab key and orienting the blocks so that they match in. We may have to, we're going to have to switch block sizes as well. We have to reorient the 2-meter wood beam block so that it looks like this. That is faced sideways. Left click once here. Now I can show you the autofill feature. We're going to select with the hotkey the number 2 button. Now you can orient this in any way you want for the hotbar to get the beam 3-meter. Just make sure you have the beam 3-meter. So what we're going to do for autofill is we're going to orient the camera with the mouse so it's facing like this and press the letter F in this enclosed area. And there you go. That is how you autofill that section. Now it will look kind of funky and weird too, but it did do it correctly up to this point. So we're going to reselect the 2-meter beam and move into here as well. One note with autofill, sometimes you might actually want to use smaller beam sizes to fill certain gaps so you don't have this issue, is what I found when playing this game. Because stuff like this can happen where now you have a space left, and we don't want that because that would be bad. The boat would sink. So we're going to actually fill these in with I think, yeah, 2-meter blocks. And then do a wood block right here. So to get to there, I press the E key, left click on blocks, wood block, and then singular wood block for just this demonstration purposes, like so. Alright, so now we got a bigger boat. We're going to move our mouse and keyboard directionally to get face the front. And this is why you have these hotkeys on the middle of your screen here. So that way you can start building the V-shaped part of the hull for the front. It's not the most efficient one hydrodynamically, but it is one of the easier ones to build. We're going to start with a 4-meter wood slope, and we're going to have it oriented towards the front like this, the pointy nose pointing towards it. Now if your block is like this, when you select it, you can either mouse over and press cycle G key a couple times with the mouse, or doing the tab technique, which I find easier. And then we're going to left click, and this whole time while we're doing this, we're going to have symmetry mode on. So first we got the 4-meter beam. Next we need a 3-meter square wood beam. I'm going to have to orient the camera so that it matches the beam like so, like this. And now you see that we have a little bit more of the hull now looking more like a V shape. So the next thing you want to do, and this took me a lot of practice too, so don't feel frustrated if you can't get these shapes right. I had to watch YouTube videos where people were doing this at lightning speed, so I'm trying to do it at a much slower pace, and I'm starting to find myself doing this too fast, so I apologize for that. Then put it towards the front here, like this, and left click once. And now we need a 2-meter beam. We're going to place it towards the edge of this beam right here. And then we're going to enclose it with a 1-meter, whoops, I need a 1-meter, what's it called? A 1-meter triangle, or slope, per se. There we go. Sometimes you have to do this on the fly too. Now that we got that there, it caps it off and makes it look nicer as well. So now we just need the 2-meter beam to place right here. And then we're just going to close this off here. So what we could do is just keep left clicking. I'm not going to use autofill so it doesn't go crazy on us. And then the beam 3-meter for here, while keeping symmetry mode on the whole time. Now this is where it gets tricky. Now this is a bit janky. With refinement this can get better, but for now we just have to mix and match beam sizes. And then 3 beams to cover the middle here. And there you have it. This is the front of the hull that is now hydrodynamically correct. So you might be wondering, well, that's great, but I want it to be a little bit taller. So we can do that. What we do is just copy a similar pattern, at least to do it the manual way. There is an automated way, which I'll show in a different video, of doing this, so you don't always have to manually memorize these patterns that you just put down as the foundation. Because once you get the foundation, it's much easier to start moving along and start building at lightning speeds and confuse the heck out of everybody. 3-meter. And then we need a 4-meter here, like so. And as you can see, I'm copying what I just built as the foundation into the more upper side of the hull that's going to actually impact the water. Now sometimes you can get away with like putting longer beams on the upper part of the deck, like so. Sometimes that can also work out, but then it could mess up the pattern, so you might want to be careful with doing that. And then we need a 3-meter beam. Oh yeah, 4-meter beam here, like so. There we go. So this is basically a very basic shape. of the hall for the front. For the back, it's going to be a little trickier, but for now, we'll just do beam 3 meters just to rise up the hall just a little bit, and then mirror 2 beams here, 2 meters. Yeah, like that. And then in a future video, I'll show the back. So that is it for the front of the hall. Hope this helped you with doing a basic V-shaped hall. This is Rigsters Journey, signing off.